actually had an interruption while trying to create the first video. Let me continue from where I stopped. Going into the practical aspect of cream formulation, we'll be needing for the water phase, which is phase A, we will need distilled water 1000 ml for 1000 grams in weight of body cream, EDTA 2.5 grams, propylene 30 ml, glycerin 30 ml, aloe vera 120 ml, and panthenol 5 grams. Aloe vera and panthenol adds it makes the cream moisturizing enough. It will help keep your skin supple and moisturized. Actually, this formulation can also be used in formulating leave-in conditioner. I mean, this same recipe I'm giving right now can use in also formulating your leave-in conditioner. It can become a leave-in conditioner depending on what you add and what you don't add, and what you subtract and what you don't subtract. So it can actually become a leave-in conditioner. When you add panthenol, that is vitamin B5, it's great for hair. It's very, very unique and essential for hair. It's a great ingredient for the hair, and it's also a great ingredient for the skin. I don't know if you know that whatever is good for the skin is also good for the hair. Ever since I got into this formulation and production of a thing, I've seen that I came to realize that what we actually use on the skin is also unique for the hair. What is on the hair is unique for the skin. I'm not saying you should go and carry your leave-in conditioner and start rubbing on your skin. What I'm trying to say there is that the ingredients that are being used in this formulation can also be used in formulating each of them, vice versa. That is body cream, and also leave-in conditioner. Okay, right now, and for phase B, let's talk about the phase B. Phase B, we have oils, and here I'll be using sunflower oils 30 ml, e-wax 100 grams. 100 grams will be a lot for 1000 grams, 1000 ml. E-wax will be 30 grams here, and cetyl alcohol will be 20 grams. Then we'll have vitamin E. Vitamin E will be 10 grams for this formulation. Vitamin E is 1 gram, tea tree oil 1 gram, preservative will also be that will be coming in the cool down phase, and that is 1% of 1000 ml. That is 1 over 100 times 1000 will be giving you 10 ml. But what I usually do is I always use this principle of multiplying whatever I get from the 1% calculation by 2.5, so that I'll be sure that my product can stand the test of time. It can stay on the shelf for 2 years. For example, now your 1 over 100 times 1000 will be giving you 10 ml. 10 meals times 2.5. Work that out. You'll know what you get. What you'll be using now will be more than 10 meals. A double of what you had, and a fraction. That's 20.5 that you'll be needing for this. And I bet you this product will not rancid eyes in 6 months, not even in 1 year. It can stay for 18 months or even 2 years duration without spoiling or mucus growing on it. So if you were to be formulating a leave-in conditioner, you now add Dequat A. That is where you have something different from what you were doing, something different from the body cream. Body cream will not need Dequat A, but it may need lanolin. Lanolin is good for the skin. I don't know. For those that have never done formulation before, I don't know how you understand this. That is why it's still good. Even after listening to this video, it's still good for you to find someone who can train you better and show you where and way to get this ingredient for formulation. At times it's not easy to identify them, and also at times it's not easy to know where to get these items. Okay, so without much ado, you will now pour in the phase A, that's the water, the EDTA, the propylene, the glycerin into a beaker, and aloe vera into a beaker. And you now pour the other one, either a beaker or whatever you know can withstand, or a stainless container that can, or any good plastic that can withstand heat. Now you now pour in your phase B also into another beaker or a stainless container or any good plastic container that can withstand heat. Now put both of them side by side in a hot water that you had already placed on fire. You reduce the heat on a very low heat. Both of them have to be brought out at equal temperatures so that the emulsion will be done properly. Once the waxes melts completely without anything particle remaining, you bring it out and you now pour the water phase into the phase B. Once that is done, with your little stirrer, whatever I do use a small very small, beautiful metallic spoon that is strong and slender and very small, and in short, it helps me, whatever will help in stirring, to have a proper mixture. You use that to mix. As you immediately pour in the water phase into the oil phase, you stir it, keep on stirring, until the mixture cools down. Once it cools down, you now use a whipping machine if you have one. For me, that I don't have for now, I always use my cup blender. I blend the cream and it will give me what I want. I had one and it spoiled, and I'm not intending to buy another one until I see original one to buy, so that I do not spoil easily. So I'll be using my cup blender to blend the cream, and at the end I'll pour it into a container. Once it cools down, you now go into phase C, which is a cool down phase. That is when you now put your panthenol, you put your vitamin E, you put your preservative, you put your Dequat A, you stir it properly. We have the panthenol, which is vitamin B5. We have it in both powder and liquid form. It's very, very thick, a thick liquid. but the liquid is very expensive. So if you can't go for example, the last time I asked how much it is, they said 10 ml is 5,000 naira. Imagine buying 10 meals here in Akwa Ibom. If you buy 10 meals of Panthenol, that's vitamin B5, for 5,000 naira, how much will you sell the cream that you have formulated? So in that case, if you can't go for that, you can as well use the powder Panthenol. You use a little bit of glycerin to mix it properly until once they are properly melted, you now pour it into the cream and keep on stirring to avoid lumps forming. Then if you were actually going to produce a leave-in conditioner, you put your Dequat A. You pour in your Dequat A. That's if you are doing a leave-in conditioner, you pour in your Dequat A at this point and you mix. But if it's not a leave-in conditioner, you leave it there if it's for cream. For beginners, I believe for now that the procedure and the ingredients I'm giving now will be okay. That is just okay for now for beginners. As you understand cream formulation, you can now add more ingredients later. There are so many other ingredients that can make your cream great, but for now you have to understand the basis before going into adding addition of other ingredients. And in this cream production, you can as well add a little bit of tea tree oil. 1 gram will be enough for this formulation. Even if it's for leave-in, 1 gram is still okay for the leave-in for this. And after that, your cream or your leave-in conditioner is ready. Thank you.